The world often looks at the Philippines and sees only what is easy to describe: beaches, islands, smiles, and storms. But behind that calm surface lies a deeper truth. A nation whose quiet strength has outlasted empires, disasters, and every attempt to keep it small. If you stay until the end of this video, you'll understand why the Philippines is one of the most underestimated powers in Asia, and why the world may soon have no choice but to notice. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that uncover the real strength and beauty of the Philippines. Ma 1. The geography that shapes giants. Most people only see 7,000 islands scattered across a map, tiny dots floating in the endless blue of the Pacific. But those dots form something far greater than they seem. They're not just islands. They're watchtowers standing guard over one of the most important crossroads on Earth. The Philippines sits right at the center of the Pacific's beating heart, the meeting point between the South China Sea and the Philippine Sea. On one side lies Asia's economic powerhouses, Japan, China, and Korea. On the other, the open Pacific leading to the Americas. Whoever controls these waters doesn't just control a few trade ships. They hold the veins through which trillions of dollars in global trade flow every single year. Every cargo ship that moves electronics from Japan, oil from the Middle East, or goods from China passes near Philippine waters. Beneath those same seas lie untapped reserves of natural gas, rare minerals, and deep-sea routes that have become the silent battleground for influence. And through centuries of storms, colonization, and conflict, one truth has never changed. The world keeps coming back to the Philippines. Spain built its empire around it. Japan sought to dominate it. The United States used it as a strategic anchor. And yet, through every empire that rose and fell, the Philippines remained, proud, defiant, and unbroken. Its geography is more than land and sea. It's destiny. Every wave that hits its shores carries the echo of history and the whisper of power. The Philippines isn't just in the Pacific, it defines it. 2. The spirit of resistance. If anyone dares to call the Philippines weak, they've clearly forgotten history. Long before the modern world took shape, in the year 1521, a man named Lapu-Lapu stood on the shores of Mactan with nothing but courage and conviction, and faced the might of a European power head-on. That day, under the tropical sun, he became more than a warrior. He became a symbol, the first spark of Asian resistance against colonization. But that spirit didn't die with him. It became part of the nation's heartbeat. Centuries later, in 1896, that same fire burned again as Filipinos rose for independence. Farmers, teachers, workers, ordinary people with extraordinary hearts took up the fight for freedom. They had no modern weapons, no vast armies, but they had something far stronger: unity, hope, and the will to stand even when the world told them to kneel. Even when new flags flew over their homeland, the flame of defiance never faded. During World War II, when chaos engulfed the Pacific, Filipinos once again stood firm. Side by side with their allies, they fought in jungles, mountains, and cities, refusing to surrender even when the odds were impossible. Many gave everything, not for recognition, but for a simple promise that their land would never bow again. History remembers victories and defeats, but what truly defines the Philippines is endurance. It's the ability to rise, rebuild, and fight again, not just with strength, but with soul. Because true power isn't about size or weapons, it's about the courage to stand when no one else will. And that's something the world should never underestimate. 3. A silent economic force. The world often measures strength by tanks, towers, and trillions, but the Philippines proves that power can also move quietly. Many underestimate this nation because they focus on its challenges. They see the struggles, not the silent strength beneath them. But look closer, and you'll see something extraordinary. A nation whose people keep the world turning, even from oceans away. Every day, Millions of overseas Filipino workers wake up in distant lands. They care for families that are not their own. They build cities they may never live in. They keep ships afloat, heal the sick, manage global offices, and power entire industries, all while carrying the warmth of home in their hearts. They sacrifice distance and comfort so their families and their country can move forward. These men and women are not just workers, they are the heartbeat of the global workforce. And back home, another quiet revolution continues. In the high-rises of Manila, Cebu, and Davao, thousands of Filipinos work through the night, running business process outsourcing (BPO) operations that serve the world's largest corporations. From tech support to finance, from customer service to creative design. When the rest of the world sleeps, the Philippines is wide awake, keeping the digital world alive. Every click answered, every system managed, every voice on the other end of the line, that's Filipino skill at work. It's invisible to many, but indispensable to all. Even beyond this, the Philippines is transforming itself into a hub of innovation and creativity. Startups are rising. Young entrepreneurs are redefining industries. Agriculture, tourism, and renewable energy are growing, proving that the nation's economic strength isn't just in what it exports, but in the minds and dreams of its people. This is not noise. This is not boasting. This is economic power wrapped in humility, a force that doesn't shout. It simply keeps the world running. So when the world overlooks the Philippines, it overlooks a truth it can't afford to ignore. Sometimes the strongest economies are the ones that move in silence. 4. The strategic underdog. When people talk about global power, they think of nations with fleets of warships, nuclear arsenals, and billion-dollar defense budgets. By that standard, the Philippines might seem small, but what the world forgets is that real strength isn't always about size. Sometimes power is measured in resilience, experience, and the ability to endure when others fall. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, may not have the most advanced technology, but what they do have is something priceless: decades of real-world combat experience. From dense jungles to remote islands, from insurgencies to natural disasters, Filipino soldiers have faced challenges that would break many larger armies. They've learned to fight not just with weapons, but with instinct, intelligence, and sheer determination. Every soldier who walks the Philippine soil understands one truth. They may not always have the best tools, but they have the unmatched heart of a survivor. And in today's rapidly changing world, the Philippines has evolved. Through strong alliances with global powers like the United States, Japan, and Australia, it has become a key player in maintaining peace and balance in the Pacific. These partnerships aren't just political, they're strategic. They ensure that the Philippines stands at the crossroads of major defense cooperation, intelligence sharing, and humanitarian coordination across the region. Its location alone makes it a crucial piece in the puzzle of global security. Sitting at the edge of the South China Sea, the Philippines guards vital trade routes that carry trillions of dollars in goods every year. In a region where tensions rise and fall like tides, the Philippines serves as both shield and bridge, maintaining stability in one of the world's most contested areas. Yet despite its importance, the nation doesn't boast or threaten. It simply prepares. It strengthens quietly, modernizing its defense systems, training its forces, and deepening ties with allies. It doesn't seek conflict, but it will never back down from protecting its home. History has shown this truth again and again. The most dangerous opponent isn't always the loudest. It's the one who's ready when no one expects it. And that's why the world should never underestimate the Philippines. It is not a nation that relies on fear or force, but one that embodies quiet readiness. The kind of readiness that, when tested, reminds everyone why true strength isn't about intimidation. It's about resilience, unity, and heart. 5. Culture as power. True influence isn't always about armies or borders. It's about hearts, and no one understands that better than the Philippines. Filipino culture has quietly traveled the world. Through laughter, music, food, and family, it has connected people across continents. From the rhythm of karaoke nights to the aroma of adobo kitchens, from street dances in Manila to world stages where Filipino talent shines, the spirit of the Philippines is everywhere. Filipinos don't just bring skills, they bring joy. That warmth, that sense of community, that ability to smile even through hardship. Those are powerful forces. They shape how the world sees the nation, not through fear or dominance, but through connection and admiration. Cultural power is the kind that never fades. Empires rise and fall, but songs, stories, and kindness outlive them all. The Philippines has already left its mark not by conquering lands, but by winning hearts. And that, more than anything, is a form of strength the world can't measure. 6. The future that's just beginning. The Philippines isn't defined by its past, it's fueled by its potential. Beneath its islands lie treasures that the modern world needs most. The nation's vast reserves of nickel, copper, gold, and natural gas are essential for the future of green technology, renewable energy, and global manufacturing. In a time when the world searches for sustainable solutions, the Philippines stands quietly on the edge of a new industrial wave. But its greatest resource isn't underground, it's its people. With over 115 million citizens and a median age of just 25, the Philippines is a young, creative, and hungry nation. While other countries face aging populations, the Philippines is bursting with fresh energy, ideas, and innovation. You can see it in the growing tech startups, the digital creators making waves online, and the new generation of entrepreneurs redefining what Filipino success looks like. This is not the image of a struggling nation, it's the portrait of a rising one. The Philippines is learning, adapting, and stepping into its next chapter. And the world, still looking backward, may not be ready for what's coming next. Because the rise of the Philippines is no longer a question of if, it's a matter of when. 7. Why the world keeps underestimating. So, why does the world keep underestimating the Philippines? Because it doesn't brag. It doesn't showcase its strength with noise or threats. It doesn't seek attention. It earns respect quietly through perseverance and progress. While others dominate the headlines with conflict, the Philippines builds connections. While others fight for power, the Philippines focuses on growth. That humility, the refusal to boast, is often mistaken for weakness. But in truth, it's one of the nation's greatest strengths. History proves one thing. Nations that rise quietly are the ones that surprise the world the most. And when the Philippines does rise fully, it won't be because it demanded attention, it will be because it earned it. This is the story of a people who have endured colonization, disaster, and hardship, and still found reasons to smile, build, and dream. It's the story of a nation underestimated by many, but loved by millions. And maybe, just maybe, the greatest surprise waiting for the world isn't in the next superpower, but in the island nation that never gave up. So, what do you think? Is the world finally beginning to see the true strength of the Philippines, or is there still something deeper we've all missed? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And if this story inspired you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because we have more stories like this coming soon. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and never underestimate the quiet power of the Philippines.